Distinguished guests, councillors, chief officers, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to receive the Mayor and Mayoress of Knowsley, Councillor Frank Walsh and Miss Eileen Walsh.
Thank you, colleagues. Please be seated. Welcome everyone to the 2018 annual meeting. Can I remind everyone that all mobile phones should be turned to silent for the duration of the meeting? And can I ask that all members ensure that they use their microphones? Please note that, as usual, the Council will be filming and recording this meeting. This will include people sitting in the public gallery. A copy of the film will be uploaded to the Knowsley Council YouTube site in due course following this meeting. I also refer everyone to the order paper that has been placed in front of them and on each seat in the public gallery. An attendance list has been circulated for any apologies to be recorded. Colleagues, before we move to the first item of business, I would like to take this opportunity to remember former Councillor Ernie Parker, who recently passed away. Ernie served on the Council for 27 years, and in 2011 Ernie was appointed as an honorary alderman, and I know I speak for many here when I say that he will be sorely missed. Colleagues, can I ask you all to join me in a minute's silence as a sign of respect for our former colleague Ernie. Thank you, colleagues. Please be seated. Item number 1, declarations of interest.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All declarations of interest are shown on the order paper and will be reported in the minutes when published.
Thank you, Yvonne. Item number 2, election of the Mayor for 2018-2019. Can I invite nominations for the election of Mayor of Knowsley for 2018-19? Councillor Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can I move that Councillor Jackie Harris be elected the Mayor of the Borough for the year 2018-19?
Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Councillor Aston.
Great pleasure in seconding that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Aston. Colleagues, it has been moved and seconded that Councillor Jackie Harris be elected Mayor of the Borough for the year 2018-2019. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
I declare that Councillor Jackie Harris be elected Mayor of Knowsley for 2018-2019.
Please be upstanding for the Mayor. Distinguished guests, councillors, chief officers, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to receive the worshipful, the Mayor and Mayoress of Knowsley, Councillor Jackie Harris and Mrs Beverly Roberts.
Thank you everyone, distinguished guests and friends and members and councillors. Please be seated. I'd like to thank both my proposers, Councillor Graham Morgan and my second, Councillor Jane Ashton, for nominating me as the Mayor of Knowsley for the year 2018-2019, and also thank my fellow members of the Council for supporting this nomination. It is a great privilege and an honour to be chosen to represent the Borough of Knowsley in this role. On behalf of the Council, I would like to thank Frank and Arlene for all their hard work that they have done over the past 12 months. They have both been excellent ambassadors for the borough. I am pleased to announce that my daughter Beverly will be my mayoress, and Father Sean from St Joseph's and St Lawrence's Parish has agreed to act as my chaplain during my mayoral year. Details of my civic service will circulate to you shortly. During my year, I'll be raising funds for Breastmate, which is Cancer Support Group, which is fairly new charity registered in February 2017. 8 of the 9 trustees who run Breastmate have had breast cancer and use their own experience to offer care and support to others. And I have also Hop, Skip and Jump is a foundation which provides immediate and flexible respite care for children and young adults with disabilities and special education needs. A donation will also be made to Knowsley Carers Centre, which provides a range of services and support and enhance the lives of our unpaid carers throughout Knowsley. I know how hard fundraising can be, and I hope you will join me in helping raise the money for these two very worthy causes, and I know I'm up for the challenge. On behalf of myself and Beverly, we are very much looking forward to our term in office representing the Borough of Knowsley. Thank you all. Councillor Morgan, I believe you'd like to speak.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Madam Mayor, can I move the vote of thanks to the retiring Mayor?
Thank you. Councillor Morgan. Oh, sorry, Councillor Donnelly, I should say. I'm you this.
Congratulations, Madam Mayor. Thank
you.
you. I'd like to second the vote of thanks for Councillor Frank Walsh.
Councillor Morgan, I believe you would like to say a few words in support of the motion.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to say a few words about our outgoing Mayor, Frank Walsh. First of all, I'd like to offer him my personal thanks for his sterling work throughout the year as officer's mayor. Along with, of course, Eileen, who kindly agreed to take the role of mayoress. This is the third time that Frank has been the Mayor of Knowsley, which is a fantastic achievement. He promoted the profile of the distinguished office of the Mayor by attending countless functions and events both within and outside the borough, and I know he will tell you some of the memorable events shortly. I also know from conversations I have had with him how much he and Eileen have enjoyed their time in the office and how sorry the year is now ending. Frank's work throughout the year has raised a considerable amount of money for his chosen charities. And I won't steal your thunder, Frank, by telling how much people you've raised, but you've done again a fantastic achievement, especially given that fundraising these days is getting harder and harder. Frank, on behalf of all your colleagues, thank you, and thanks also to Eileen for all the work you've done in your roles as Mayor and Mayoress, and we wish you well for the future. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Is the vote of thanks agreed, colleagues? Thank you. I will now invite Councillor Walsh to come forward to the small table at the front of the chamber, where I will present him with a past Mayor's medallion. The Chief Exec will present him and electronic photograph of his album of all the year in office. Can the former Mayor and Mayoress come to the table, please? Councillor Frank Walsh, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, distinguished guests, councillors, chief officers, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say what an honour and a privilege it has been to have served as Mayor of Knowsley for the last 2 years. Both Eileen and myself have really enjoyed representing the borough of Knowsley throughout this time, in which we have met some fantastic people along the way. We will both take away with us many memories of these 2 mayoral years, memories such as introduction to Her Majesty the Queen and Prince Philip at the formal opening of the Liverpool Exhibition Centre, meeting Prince Edward and the Prime Minister at Armed Forces Day, presenting flowers and a 100th birthday centenarian card to a lady in a local Knowsley care home, and attending the recent installation at Liverpool Cathedral of the Very Reverend Sue Jones as Dean of Liverpool. And this is to name just a few. Raising funds in the second year for my chosen charities has been quite a struggle, given the current financial climate that we find ourselves in. But I know that the recipients of the funds accrued will be extremely grateful for this contribution. In the first year, 2016-17, I managed to raise 18,500 for those chosen charities. I would like, therefore, to take this opportunity in thanking everyone who has contributed throughout the year in many different ways. Together, we have managed to raise approximately £16,000 for these charities. I want to say a very special thank you to Eileen for all their support throughout the last year, which I am sure she has thoroughly enjoyed. Furthermore, I would also like to thank the Mayor's Office for their invaluable guidance, support and hard work throughout my time as Mayor representing the borough. In conclusion, Madam Mayor, I would like to wish you and your Mayoress an enjoyable and a memorable year in office, which I am sure you are both looking forward to. My very best wishes, Madam Mayor, go to you both. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Hush. Can I say on item 4, it's the local elections results, and as you know, it is the returning officer and it's attached in item 4 on your agenda for members' information. Members, do you agree with that note of information? Thank you. And item 5, appointment of the leader of the council, Councillor Sean Donnelly, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I please move Councillor Graham Morgan to be appointed the leader of the council until the annual general meeting in 2019.
Thank you, Councillor Donnelly. Can I have Councillor Jane Ashton, please?
Pleasure in seconding that motion, Madam Mayor.
Any questions? Is that agreed? Thank you. The motion is carried and I declare that Councillor Graham Morgan be the leader of the council until the annual general meeting in 2019. Councillor Morgan, I understand you would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Colleagues, I want to say thank you for your confidence in me, and also want to say I am honoured to be addressing the meeting in my new role as leader of Knowsley Council. As many as you will know, I had the privilege of serving as deputy leader of council when Ronnie Rao was the leader, and I'm sure that the invaluable experience I gained under Ronnie's wise guidance and leadership will serve me well in the year ahead. In taking the role of leader, I am clear that my job, and indeed the job of the council as a whole, is to do everything we can to protect the people of Knowsley from this Conservative government's continued attack on areas like Knowsley. Many of our residents depend on the key services we provide, and we have to find the best ways possible of maintaining those services. Of course, I'm not new to the council and the important work we do, so I fully understand the challenge we face. None of us would think this will be easy. We will need to make difficult decisions, but I think we can do things differently. In particular, I give you my word that when making these decisions, we will be listening to our communities, the communities that have elected us to represent them. That's what our Knowsley Better Together approach is all about. In that regard, I want us to take some time, but it won't be a long time, to reflect on some of the serious issues we face and the feedback we have received. I am confident that the Labour group of the council will make the right decisions on the way forward. I know the residents want to know as soon as possible if there are going to be any changes in approach to some of the proposals that we will be looking at. And I will be looking at them to make some clear announcements in the coming weeks rather than months. Colleagues, I pride myself on carrying out the public duties with great respect for others, and I call upon everybody in this room, regardless of which political party you represent, to do the same. We may not always agree, in fact, we won't always agree, but we must treat others how we want to be treated ourselves. I'm aware that sometimes the debate in this chamber may have gone near the line at some times. Let me reassure you all here today, this will not be condoned while I am the leader of Knowsley Council. Firstly, I'm sure you will have read some of the comments in the media recently about the future of this council, in particular the suggestions we are about to go bust. I just want to put the record straight. We have a balanced budget and a plan which will keep the budget balanced for the foreseeable future. Suggesting that they are unsustainable is just plain nonsense, but I think you know that already. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Vote of thanks to our retiring Mayor, Councillor Morgan.
Can I move that, Madam
Sorry,
Mayor?
retiring members. Sorry.
Can I move that motion, Madam Mayor?
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can I second that motion, please?
Thank you. Councillor Morgan, I understand you would like to say a few words.
Once again, thank you, Madam Mayor. Colleagues, I would like to take the opportunity to recognise the valued contribution of retiring elected members who have collectively given them over 100 years' service to the people of Knowsley and this council. They have all made a valuable contribution to the borough as democratically elected representatives. We all know in this chamber the dedication and amounts of hours that goes into serving the community, and I know that their commitment and hard work has been appreciated by their political colleagues and the public. Colleagues, if you could please join me in wishing our former colleagues every success in the future. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Is that vote of thanks agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Right. Leaders' report, as we know, it has been tabled for your information. Do members agree to note the report? Agreed. Thank you. Item 8, committee members and other appointments. Councillor Jane Ashton.
I move those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Donnelly.
Madam Mayor, can I second that motion, please?
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or members of the council? No. Is that agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Timetable of meetings. Councillor Jane Ashton.
I should move those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Donnelly.
Madam Mayor, happy to second that motion.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from members of the council? No. Okay. Is that agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Item 10, amendment to the Constitution. Councillor Ashton.
Move those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Donnelly.
Happy to second them recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from the members of the council? No? Is that agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Item 11, council's representation on outside bodies. Councillor Jane Ashton.
Move those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Donnelly.
Happy to second them recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Any questions or comments from any of the members of the council? No? Okay. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Item 12, scheme of members' allowances. Councillor Graham Morgan.
Can I move that recommendations, Madam Mayor?
Thank you. Councillor Jane Aston.
And I second those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from members of the council? Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Item 13. All the minutes of the meeting of the council held on the 21st of March 2018 agreed as a correct record. Okay. Item 14. I have no further items of urgent business or nature. I declare the annual meeting closed. Members are asked to move to the agenda papers for the special meeting held. Item 1, appointment of the vice chairs. Councillor Ashton.
And I move those recommendations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Donnelly.
Can I second them recommendations, Madam Mayor?
Thank you. Any questions or comments? No. Is that agreed? Agreed. Thank you. Colleagues, there are no further items of the business. Can I thank you all for your attendance, and I now declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
You'll stand up, Madam Mayor.